Stefan?
Yes, I'm Swedish. I live in southern Spain. I represent the Swedish foundation that built a platform for you to save your creations as copyrights for 800 years to come and make money in the same time. I talk
Very
later.
Good. Very good, sir. Daniel?
Daniel?
Hi, I'm Daniel, South Africa. Represent Africa basically. Have a few things going, but we'll discuss more about that later on, guys. Thank you.
Very good. And Leo?
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Leo. I'm Irish. I'm from Ireland, Dublin City in Ireland. I have a business and a gallery which specialises in images of Ireland. Thank you.
Very good. Karen?
Hi everyone, Kieran Haughey. I'm in the east coast of Ireland. I'm actually in transit at the moment. So I'm the founder and CEO of Table for One, which is a solution for connecting business travelers all around the world.
Very good. Maddie?
Hi everyone, Mary Nicolescu, Romanian violist living in Mexico City. I represent several chamber music groups, 2 duos and 1 piano quartet.
Very
Nice to meet
good.
you.
Nice to meet you. Annie?
Hello everyone, I'm Annie from Hong Kong. I am a lighting manufacturer, so but if you are looking for any connections in Hong Kong and China, feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Very good, Annie. Mike?
Hi everybody. We got crossfires here.
Yeah.
Sorting it now, I think.
Because we were scratching our heads as to how we could pick up.
Whoever's speaking, can you mute? There we go. Got it.
That's
Okay.
it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm Mike Deacon. My profession is a commercial finance broker. I find money for businesses in the UK and around the world. But I'm actually here talking also about my daughter who runs a choir business, which is a virtual choir business at the moment called Sweet Charity Choir Online. And basically what she provides for people is the opportunity to sing in a virtual environment at the moment to overcome the stresses of mental health and to also build a community here and internationally. And Kathy, of course, knows my daughter, so I've introduced her to her, and they're working on something quietly, which they won't tell me about.
Very good. And Ivan, sir, over to you.
Good morning, Ivan. I'm a cybersecurity specialist based in the United States. I work worldwide, involved in music and music for the sport. My 2 kids, one is director of music at high school, and the other is just play for fun. Thank you.
Good, so Joanne?
Had to unmute myself. Hi. I'm in the United States, in California, and I have an investments company. I help people get funding for their projects, and I'm also doing a lot of major medical supplies since COVID started.
Very good. And Joanne, just while you're on, can you connect with Mike and Mike with Joanne? And Patricia, is it? You'll have to help me with some of the names now, Kathy.
You read my mind. You read my mind, Lee. I'm just
Very
about
good,
to put
sir.
some beats on there.
Kathy, I'll let you pick it up from here now. There's a few names.
You have to keep going, Lee, because my order's different than yours.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah,
So
yeah, sorry about
you'll
that.
have to forgive me if I don't pronounce your name correctly. I have dyslexia. So the surname's Dune. Patricia.
Let me just say this quickly. She's the one person in the world who knew me before I was a violinist. She's my best friend since I was 5 years old.
Very
So
good.
thank you so much for coming, Trish.
Oh, you're welcome. And it is a pleasure to be here, and certainly a supporter of the arts and work with nonprofits to help them to move into their vision past their mission. And so I am on Cape Cod in Massachusetts.
Very good. And Susan.
Maurizio, quindi vuole 15 minuti di restettaggio per fare partire.
Can we please mute the people who aren't talking at the moment?
I've got it. That's it. I've already
Okay,
done.
thank you.
Susan, over to you.
Hi, I'm Susan Younger. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and I work with the Bank Code Personality Profile to help people create better communication skills and understand the other person they're talking to and their point of view.
Very good. And Emily, is it Emily?
Emily?
Yes, it's me, Emilia. I'm
Amelia, sorry.
It's okay. I'm Emily from Toronto. I'm lover of music for my life, classical music, different kind of music. So it's my pleasure to support Kathy and actually this event. I like Mexico.
Very good. And let me see, George, is it?
Yes, it's George. I'm from Mexico. I'm a business coach and I'm interested in music. That's it.
Very good. And Nicola?
Hola. Okay. I think, yeah. You there?
Jacob?
Yes, I'm here.
That's it. Do you want to
Can you
introduce
hear
yourself,
me?
sir? Just a few seconds, just where you are and what industry you're representing or business.
Okay, I'm a retired professor of music from University of Colorado State University, Pueblo, and also conducted.
I want to say he's one of the best conductors I've ever met, and he's come to Mexico to conduct our orchestra, and he's Chinese American, and his students are now the conductors of major orchestras in China. So not only is he an amazing conductor, he's also a really great teacher. Thank you for coming, Jacob.
Thank you.
We got one of our speakers, Shakra, is it?
Shankar.
Shakra. Hello,
My
sir.
name is, you are good, yeah, please. It's Shankar, yes. My name is Shankar Mrida, and I'm from Pune, India, and I run a company which uses microchip, which is IoT and blockchain for art authentication. So something
good.
like this, which looks like, okay, but my interest in music comes from I being an amateur drummer, as well as I play tabla, Indian instrument, which is a percussion instrument in India.
Very good. And
Thanks,
as far as
Kathy, for inviting.
thank you, sir. And as far as I know, we got two, but Jessica, did I cover you already? Jessica, you there? Or Nicola? That's all right, Kathy. It's over to you, my friend.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Kathy?
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lee. I couldn't have done this without you. Okay.
Kathy,
So,
Kathy, can I weigh in?
sure.
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
I must have missed somebody. Sorry.
You go ahead.
I'm Hugh Ballou in Lynchburg.
Oh, Hugh,
Virginia.
sorry.
I'm in Lynchburg, Virginia, where those Blue Ridge Mountains are. And my organization is Center Vision Leadership Foundation. And what I do is I work with leaders in all types, but this is for focusing on nonprofit leaders. I help them change their board from looking like this to looking like this. And I spent a career as a conductor, mega churches, hired major orchestras wherever I lived. This particular group is the Lynchburg Symphony where I live, and it was 14 months ago, our last really big production before the COVID. So I work with arts organizations, teaching them what a musical conductor knows about leadership. And I would say to our drummer, there's an old joke where you call somebody that hangs around musicians, one answer is a drummer, the other answer is a conductor. So back to you, Kathy.
Very good. And
It's an honor to have you here. Thank you.
if we've missed anybody nearer the end, we should have time left for the ones we've missed or the ones that's added on to
I think we missed
introduce
2 or
themselves.
3 people.
Yeah, there is. It was only, we were just using that while we were waiting for people. I think there's probably half a dozen we've missed. So we'll catch you near the end or after the breakout session. So Kathy, it's over to you, my friend.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you all for coming today. I would like to start this meeting off with a very common saying, and it actually came from a conversation yesterday. It is what it is. And how many times have we heard this phrase? Hundreds or thousands of times. It's a phrase full of sadness, and it's a phrase of acceptance for the present, with no hope for a better future. And today I would like to change this phrase a little. I would like us to think about the following. If today is what it is, how can we make tomorrow different? How can we make tomorrow amazing? I've invited you all here today because I would love to hear your ideas and your visions for the future, be they all so far-fetched and impossible today. I would like to discuss 2 things in particular: the future of classical music and art, and perhaps more important, how to make art profitable for the business world. We have a great panel lined up for you today from all over the world. Each one will speak about their ideas, and there will be a time for discussion and questions at the end of this meeting. Here in my QR is a questionnaire for all of you, asking for your opinions and most importantly, your ideas, along with any contacts you might think of who would like to come to our next meeting a month from now. Lee, would you like to present yourself and tell us about one of our sponsors for today's event?
I can do, Kathy. Thank you. I'm Lee Tunning-Ware, and I run a meeting called Opportunities After Brexit, and I am supported by Ascentive. Ascentive is an international entrepreneur community. As you can see, we've got a diverse group here today from loads of different industries, and some of you may be in that mindset or mind frame that, well, why we got tech and arts and musicians, or just people with interest in drums or whatever it is. But bear in mind, the way we think about our future is probably what creates our future. So why are you here today? Because Ascentive, what they do is they're very mission-based, as in what future do you want to create and why? Most of all, why? What is your why? They call it their ECC, your emotionally charged connection. We all do loads of things, and sometimes we might say, I'm an accountant. But that isn't who we are, that's what we do. I taught the business level 9 masters for Trinity. Trinity College is the top college in Ireland, and I taught only to artists, potters, and basically people that were in the arts or musicians. And they wanted, the reason they brought me in was how to tap into that passion, how to communicate that passion into a message, and how to authentically bring your art, your passion, your music, whatever it was you had, into the real world, into the business community, to enable you not to compromise who you are as an artist, whether that be a musician, art, dancer, not to compromise your craft into the business model. A lot of people believe they need to change who they are or the way they communicate. The world we're in now, the world we're in now is authenticity is more important now than ever. So how do we bring that craft to the real world in a way that supports diverse communities or grows communities? So that's really what Ascentive does. It brings a group of like-minded people together, diverse people together, regardless of whether they're in the arts or in business, and they synergize each other's skills in a way, a bit like an orchestra, a choir, where everybody helps each other and serves each other to the highest standards. So that's really what Ascentive does. And Kathy, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, O. So I would like to start this meeting officially here. I was fascinated by two things when I was a child: British and Egyptian history, and I studied their histories hour upon hour, day after day. I would like to share with you one tidbit of knowledge that I thought I would never have the opportunity to bring up in a conversation, much less in a conversation about music. The coronation of Edward VII was a somewhat new event due to the fact that there was nobody living at the time who remembered the coronation of Queen Victoria. Some long-held traditions disappeared that coronation day in 1902, while others, half remembered, stayed, and new traditions were invented. We as classical musicians find ourselves in a somewhat similar situation, looking for ways to recreate the past while having no living memory of what it is we're trying to recreate. It's a fascinating, unique time, and which should be looked upon with a sense of adventure rather than a feeling of regret. Here in the QR you see behind me lies a survey asking about yourself, your ideas, as well as the contact information of people with whom you might think we could speak about today's subject. Today I invite you to the reinvention of an old tradition, a discussion of the new paths which classical music may take in this brave new world. Welcome all to If Music Be the Food of Life. On to you, Lee.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm Lee Tunning-Ware for Transform Coaching and Consultancy, and I do a lot within the business community, whether that be with BNI, that's Business Network International. They're a global community of networkers, been running for over 30 years. And also Ascentive, and Ascentive is a high-level entrepreneur community. When I say high-level, high-skilled, we're not interested in where people are, it's where they're going. and why they want to go there. So if there's any way I can help you at all in going forward, just reach out, whether that be through my Calendly link or through Kathy or through some of the connections here today. But what I'd like you to think about, even though this will be a virtual room, what I'd like you to imagine in this moment in time is that you're holding hands in a circle in a real room, even though it's a virtual room, because that's the community, all to the same value. We might have different skills, but if we join together, our futures are much safer. If we authentically join together, we're not here to sell to each other. We're here to support and serve each other. So if there's anyone here you need to reach out to, or if you just want to brainstorm or tap into each other's skills, how do we take this circle of experts, passionate people to the global community where we can support and help each other to support our futures, our families, and our communities. So I'm Lee Tony Ware from Transform Coaching and Consultancy, and I help entrepreneurs, artists, any person wants to have a true life and vision.
Thank you so much, Lee. Thank you. That was wonderful. Shankar, would you like to go next?
So, as I said, I'm from India, and India is a land of culture, music, art, and so many traditions. So what I want to share with you is how I see as music playing a role in this current world. So I'm also an NLP master's. NLP is Neuro-Linguistic Programming, which is about mind and how mind works, how we can program our mind. And that's where I have been using drumming and NLP together. So that's where I combine music and the mind and how mind can help us. These are techniques possibly I have learned from the Western countries in the recent past, but then when I explored a lot of things in Indian culture, I found they are plentiful here. So I would like to talk about that how music would be, I see music as a part of this, is music has the ability to tune in to create that rapport with each other, with people, with people from around the world, irrespective of which instrument we play, irrespective of which language we play, irrespective of which region we are from. And that is where the fun of music comes in. And I'm glad that Kathy has invited me to this amazing platform where I see people from very, very diverse platform, and music is something which also has a common underlying thing here. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Shankar, could you quickly show what you,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will just remove the blurring background so that I can possibly see. Okay, so this is a microchip. This is what we use in our business, and it is pretty flexible. It is and it has a very strong glue. So we put it at the back of the painting, and that's how a painting becomes authenticated. So this becomes a certificate of authentication, and we can scan with the phone or this microchip, and it gets all the data from a blockchain. So I'm using terms which are pretty techy, pretty technology oriented, but this is how the world is moving, about how we use technology in our ancient culture, in your ancient art world. So
I would like to say quickly, thank you, Shankar. I would like to say quickly that the artists in India were absolutely amazing at the beginning of quarantine, because they just didn't stop. They said, okay, we're going online, and Shankar created a group of 100 artists in WhatsApp, and they spent the next couple months, in spite of how horrible things were in India at the time, creating a virtual auction. So they didn't go into shock, they just went. And I was honored to spend the first, I think, 4 months of quarantine getting up at 4:30 in the morning to be at their meetings with them. It was absolutely wonderful. And a person who's not on the slides, Angeli, she would like to share a screen if you could give her permission. And she would like to tell you a little bit about herself. She's also a person that I met through Shankar. Are you
When
there?
do you want to? Yeah, do you want to do that now? Yeah.
Yes. Angeli, are you
Yeah.
there?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I share screen.
Yeah. Bear with me a sec.
It was nice to hear, Shankar. Thank you for so much information. We'll talk to you regarding this software. No, I can't share screen.
No, I know that. I'm still.
Okay, just
That's it. There you go. You should be good now.
okay, great. Yeah, just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Yeah. So this, friends, this is my logo, Ellora Art Gallery and Palette of Expressions. I'm by qualification, I'm an architect. I have practiced as an architect and interior designer for a very long time. Then I am totally into art curation right now. And my hobby is Kathak, that is Indian classical dance. So I'm learning it. I'm doing graduation in Kathak last 4 years, and I'm expecting myself to be graduate in Kathak in next 2 years. So it was really nice to meet you all, and it was really encouraging for me to, again take my hobby a little seriously. And I'll talk about art curation right now. That should be my focus, I guess. We have more than 300 original artworks, and they are displayed on my website. My business mainly includes, we give you original and certified paintings like landscapes, abstracts, portraits, still life, lithographs, serigraphs, collectibles, murals, sculptures, art installations, and all sorts of Indian traditional paintings. There are more than 15 Indian traditional paintings, and my main forte is to commission artworks mainly for architects and interior designers as per their requirements. This is my favorite quote by Leonardo. And these are few categories of paintings that I would like to display and sites completed by us. And abstract is most common category that we generally make. These are few abstracts done by handicapped artists. These are square vents in the same series. This project we did for Rosi Greater in Mumbai. We did their lounge areas. And this is another project, residential project we are doing in Mumbai. This is daughter's bedroom. This is print of masters that we can offer you as a cost-effective solution. This kind of mock-up we submit before we start with any artwork, so that our client understands how it will look in their interiors. And then this is another project we did for architect Ramesh Shedwankar with these two abstracts. Our one team is constantly working on landscapes like this. Another landscape of castle in Germany. This is still life. These are portraits done from photographs. And these are Indian traditional paintings. Left one is mixed style of Kangra and Pichwai. Right one is Gond tribal painting done by me for one psychiatrist in Chicago. These are again Indian traditional paintings. These are called Pichwai paintings. These are very colorful and beautiful paintings. And these are mythological works.
I'm sorry, we have a little bit of a limit of time, but I wanted to say that the reason that she's very, very special to me is that we started putting her works to music. And so I spent those first couple of months, the people in this chat from India would send me pieces of art, and I would take unaccompanied violin pieces and put them to her work. And one of my favorite things was one of the several pieces that she sent me, several sculptures. I'm sorry, we have to move on to the next person, but thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Kathy.
Wonderful. Lee, who do we have next? Lee, are you there?
I am, my friend. I'm just trying to get back the slides now. There you go.
Beatrice.
Yes, hi everybody. It's such a pleasure to be here today, and thank you, Kathy, for inviting me. So, as you can see here, my name is Beatriz Macias. I am a professional flutist, soprano, and the artistic director of the newly founded Tampere Flute Festival, which takes place in Finland at the Nordic's largest convention center. And I am joining here today to briefly discuss the importance of advocating for music, supporting a new generation of musicians, and how you can be a part in helping to restart music and culture around the world. So music is one of the greatest forms of art. It has the power to break the frontiers of language, of race, of culture. Music has the power to unite, connect us, to inspire, to heal. And as Aristotle so beautifully put it, music has the propensity to affect the human soul. So here's why your voice matters. When we speak about the importance of advocating for music, we are speaking about the importance of safeguarding cultural heritages. Music is an integral part of national identity. Take, for example, Mexico. What comes to mind when you think of Mexico? Other than tacos, tequila, and piñatas, you identify Mexico by mariachis. Ireland, Irish folk music. Argentina, tango. Germany, Wagner, and so forth. So each country over the centuries has established its unique identity through its music. So while there are many ways to advocate for music, one of the things that we are doing at the Tampere Flute Festival in Finland is to seek, support, and promote a new generation of talent. One of our main missions as a nonprofit organization is to educate and better equip young artists to thrive in the 21st century. Because when you support the youth, you have the power to create a better future. So to give you an idea, this year we opened the possibility for young musicians around the world, ages 6 through 30, to participate in a young artist competition. We were able to raise about 15,000 euros in cash prizes and educational awards to help support the careers and educations of 9 prize winners who came from Norway, Japan, Venezuela, Germany, Chile, and so forth. So music in a way has allowed us to break the barriers that this pandemic has brought. So becoming an advocate for music, for classical music, comes in all ages and nationalities, so as we can see here today. And speaking as one of the youngest artistic directors in my field, I know that one voice can make a difference. But to make an impactful and an effective change, we need your voice to help restart music and culture when it's most needed. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. That was amazing. Mike, we're up to you.
Thank you very much. I've asked Lee if I could share my screen. So let me do this now, and then I'll give you my story. Whilst I'm getting my screen up, I would just say I'm a failed voice soprano, violinist and pianist. But my daughter luckily got my genes, small that they were, and my wife's dancing genes, and she started playing music from the age of 3 with a toy piano, and eventually graduated at the University of Southampton in musical composition. She plays about 15 instruments. She had a band that toured for several years around the UK and Europe. She gave it all up to basically become a choir leader and give benefit to others. So let me just find, can you see my screen now? Can you all see my screen?
It's starting to share. It's not sharing yet, but it's getting there. It's not, if you want to unshare it and share it again, it seems to be stuck.
Oh, okay. Can you see that moving or not?
There we go. Yeah, we're good. We got it.
Okay. Okay. So about 8 or 9 years ago, my daughter started to be a choir leader with a franchise in the UK called Rock Choir, which is effectively allowing people with no musical background whatsoever to be able to participate in singing modern compositions of contemporary artists. So basically, anyone can sing. If you were tone deaf or just not musical, it didn't matter. This is about bringing people and communities together. All went swimmingly well. Then she decided she could do it better because she didn't like the way in which Rock Choir was going, because it was a business, not a community. And it goes back to what Beatrice said earlier. It's all about community. You've got to look after people. So she set up her own business called Sweet Charity Choir. That went really well. She had about 250 members in 4 choirs. All went well until March last year, and then COVID happened. And suddenly she was faced with A, losing her income, and B, losing her business. So what she did was she pivoted online. She created Sweet Charity Choir online. She'd performed with a choir at Carnegie Hall through someone who'd seen one of her videos go viral about 3 Christmases ago to raise money for musicians' charities around the UK and Europe and the US. So she created this online from scratch with her fiance and just built this. She's kept all her members, and now she has an online presence with members across all 5 continents in the world. And what she does, she allows people to be able to actually sing, even though they're in isolation. And then she puts them together and creates virtual performances. That's an awful lot of tech for something that's supposed to be enjoyable and impromptu. But she's done this, you know, with a gracious heart. She also, and these are some of the artists that she actually does covers for, she rewrites all the music in 4-part harmony so that anyone can sing, irrespective of your capability. And it sounds absolutely wonderful. And most importantly of all the money she earns, she gives them 20% of it to charity. And these are some of the charities that she's raised money for, both here and in the States. And she wants that opportunity to widen her scope. She'd kill me if she knew I was selling her today, by the way. She would absolutely kill me dead.
And I'll tell you what our plans are, and I think you're going to love them. And for all the Mexican people here, our plan is when travel is safe again, we're going to bring her here to Mexico to have her choir in the Sala Neta, and with the orchestra of the Venezuelan refugees who are here, so that we can raise money through the Venezuelan orchestra to help other refugees in the world. So that's our plan. We were thinking about next Christmas, but I think it's going to be a little more postponed after that.
Yeah. And the funny part is the connection, and I'll finish with this. The connection is that when Jenny was doing her studies at university, the people she aspired to the most were the Venezuelan Youth Orchestra, which at the time was one of the greatest youth orchestras in the world. I mean, she's classically trained in flute and piano, okay? So that's what she did. So she understands the beauty of performance. She loves jazz, she loves rock music, she can do anything. But the point that she was really trying to make, and I will finish with this, I promise, is that she gave people who had no musical background the opportunity to have a community, to be with friends, and to have fun. That's the most important thing. When you're in isolation, what she's done here is allow people to continue the fun, and she keeps that going with Zoom quizzes and Zoom get-togethers, because we can't meet in person. When we do meet in person, the celebration and the outburst of joy will be wonderful. And she's allowing people to have experiences they would never otherwise have. So that's what I'm saying today. Music is powerful. It's more than money. It's about community. It's about humanity. And we all need that, you know, artistic part of our lives to make us what we are as people. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to say that when the rest of us were suffering through the first months of quarantine, the people who you see here from India and the people that I know from Venezuela were already making videos, and Jenny. And when I got them together and I started sending Jenny videos of what my Venezuelan friends are doing, and some of them are still actually in Venezuela. The person who actually does the recordings is suffering terribly in Venezuela right now. And she doesn't care and she doesn't complain, and she does these amazing, amazing videos. And so that's our plan with Jenny, is to get all these people together and help other people in the same way that these Venezuelans, a lot of them have been helped in countries where they are now refugees. So with that, I would like to, Lee, I don't know quite how to do this.
That's all right.
Breakout
We're going to send you to breakout rooms for approximately 8 minutes. All I ask is, don't use the word you. Yeah. The word you.
I'd like to also say, for those of us who are musicians, it's a very hard thing to go over into the business world, and I know this. It's a very, very hard thing for us to go over into the business world and start having conversations and treating music like a business. So when you're in these breakout rooms, look at the people who are in the room, and if they're business people, reach out to them and say, I have this idea. Do you think it's feasible? That's why we're here, is to try to break this barrier between music and business. Thank you, Lee.
That's all right. So we're going to put you in the breakout rooms in a minute for approximately 8 minutes. I saw some of your faces. Why can't you use the word you? So, for example, yeah, let's say I do pensions. I do pensions. I can help you with your pension. Yeah. So, in that terms, don't use the word you, because you're actually selling directly to the person in front of you.
Exactly.
So, I'm a financial advisor. Who do you know that may need help with their pension?
Or perhaps, Lee, how about, I'm a financial advisor. how could I promote myself through what you guys are doing?
You got it. And let me leave you with one other bit before you go in there. Let's say I was a florist and my target market might be brides or men that are in the doghouse. So I do brilliant doghouse flowers, yeah, at €50 or $50. Yeah, if I get a referral a week, yeah, add up 50 times 50, $2,500 or euros. Or if I say, well, who do you know that's getting married? And I target brides, and that's my target market. And let's say I'm lucky to get one referral a week for a wedding, that might be €3,000. However, if I change my ask, I can quadruple, quantify my ask.
And this is what Ascentive is all about.
Yeah. So
this is what Ascentive is all about. So at the end, we're going
to sorry, there's a breakup. That's it. If you ask for, I work very well with wedding planners from 5-star or 4-star hotels, because if you get the relationship with the wedding planner is most likely doing 50 or 100 weddings a week. And that if you get the relationship with the wedding planner, you could have 50 to 100 weddings a year from one contact. So if you're just trying to sell to the person in front of you, you have got one opportunity, and hands up who likes to be sold to. Honestly. So if you don't like to be sold to, why would you think the person across from you likes to be sold to? We're humans, yeah? We weren't designed to sell. We were designed as a tribal species. However, some people think we're part of the human race and we're in a race, yeah? And we're not in a race. Competition exists on the track, in the field. Fighting exists in the ring or in the arena. We're here to collaborate, communicate with passion and purpose. What I mean by that is, don't direct sell to the person in front of you. Ask how you can help, ask how you can serve. And I can guarantee you, if you ask who you're looking for, owners of 5-star hotels, whatever it is, but if you put a little bit of thought into that, and we're going to open the breakout rooms now. We'll get some feedback when you come back. You should end up in a room with approximately 3 to 4 people. Please allow each person the opportunity to speak. So it should be approximately 2 minutes each. So your screen should now, all the breakout rooms are open, and you should see a little acceptance. Just accept to go into the breakout room. If you get any problems, then I'll try and do it manually for you, but Zoom is doing it all for you.
Hi, Ginger. Hi, everyone.
Are we
Lovely to hear all the different accents.
Yeah. Hi, Lee. Hi, Lee.
How are you, Daniel? It's good to have you all back. So what I'd like you to do for a moment is just mute yourself. That's good.
There we go.
They're very good. And if anyone wants to put their hand up, or that's got any feedback for what they learned or what connection they made in the breakout room, who would like to go first? Daniel.
It's my first one, actually. It's my first one going into a breakup room, and I had it with Jorge from Mexico, but
Oops.
You muted yourself, Daniel.
It was me.
Was it you? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Daniel.
Okay.
You unmute
No
me.
problem.
Okay.
Okay. Guys, I just wanted to say it was great. I had fun. It was a bit too quick. So me and Jorge will meet after this and we'll have another conversation. But great idea. I just wanted to say I missed the last one and I really enjoyed this. Thank you, guys.
Very good. And it can be a bit too quick. So sometimes bear in mind, it's a connection. Yeah. And once you've got the connection, then you can have the communication. So who would like to go next?
I can speak. So,
Hello,
you know what? This is such a great thing that Kathy's arranged, because I am so fond of music. And I always wanted, it's my hobby, singing, and I do play a few instruments, which again, in last 4-5 years, I have left. So I think it's going to connect me again back to, what I really always wanted to do. So thank you, Kathy. That's really nice. It's a nice thing that you're doing.
Very good. Brilliant feedback. And one more, if we've got time for one more. Who would like to go next?
Can I just say, Liam, in my breakout room, Beatrice's favourite airport in the world is Dublin. So she obviously hasn't been to Knock, but
very good.
We'll maybe again, okay? But it was really good, very, very good breakout room, to be honest. The four was very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, you need to visit Knock, Beatrice, definitely. Kathy, it's over to you.
Okay, so the next speakers, they all kind of go together, and I think you'll understand at the end why I put these three together. So we're going to start with Leo, and I think you can tell my quarantine journey, because it started in India and it's ended up in Ireland, and so that's why we have so many people from Ireland here. And if you are in the United States and you want to go visit a BNI Irish chapter or go to some of the Ascentive, it's absolutely amazing what they're doing over there. So thank you so much, Leo, for coming, and it's all yours.
Okay, thanks very much, Kathy. It's great to be here, and good day to everybody. I don't know if it's good morning or good afternoon, depending on what part of the world you're in. But anyway, I'm Leo, and I'm coming to you today from Ireland, a place that I have an absolutely huge passion for. I've been hiking and traveling it since childhood with my parents and siblings, and I continue to do that to this day. I love everything about it: its people, its history, its culture, its landscapes, its music, and I'm constantly photographing Ireland and sell those images through my gallery. I have clients in my framing business who also do the same. So during the lengthy COVID lockdown in the last year, I brought them together on Zoom, obviously, and created a community of very talented photographers and artists who specialise in Irish images and also live here. We have rebranded and renamed the gallery Sulair, which is an Irish word that translates to Ireland's eye, and completed the excellent website that we now have. We have a constant campaign running through social media for all of 2021 to establish the Sulair brand and create demands. And my objective is to make contact with various global organisations which have an Irish association. So these connections are key for my business model, which is to establish an international presence and fulfil my passion in life, which is to bring a piece of Ireland to as many people throughout the world as I possibly can. All of this has been put together during the year of COVID pandemic, but it is working. While it was difficult to do it, it is working. It's a very, very positive story, which is yielding results, and sales are growing. And what for 2021 and beyond? Well, as I mentioned already, our social media campaigns will continue. We've also some very prominent publications, both home and abroad, have picked up on the Sulair story, and it is indeed a good story, and published very complimentary articles. There will be more of this, including some upcoming radio and possible TV exposure. And Zoom itself is a very powerful tool, as can be clearly demonstrated here today. Its use greatly increased during COVID, and the world has got smaller by its use, and we can reach pretty much anywhere these days. It's a major part of our strategy, and we are using it daily to assist in our efforts to connect with the organisations and associations we are seeking around the globe. So as a race, we are winning the battle against COVID, so the future for all of us looks brighter and safer. So I wish all of you a prosperous and enjoyable journey with your own plans. If I can be of any help, please ask if you think I can be of help. And thank you for taking the time to listen to me today, and for allowing me to share a small part of the Sulair story. It's back to you, Katie. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Leo. One of the things that I love about Leo is his absolute love of the land that he lives in, and his desire to spread this love to other countries. He actually came to my BNI chapter, and people just adored what he was doing, and they've reached out to him, and they've wanted to help him reach the Irish embassy here in Mexico, so we could bring a little piece of Ireland here to Mexico. So thank you so much. And Lee, who's the next person? It's perfect. Are you here, Carrion?
Hi, I am indeed. Thanks, Kathy. Really appreciate the opportunity to talk today and to be surrounded by such wonderful people. I'm very humbled by it. Sorry, I'm just after running inside, so I'm a little bit out of breath. Why am I here? I'm a client of Lee's. He's an amazing coach. If anybody wants their thinking to be brought to the next level, I can't recommend him highly enough. He'll turbocharge your life and your career. And truly, I've met Kathy, and we've become friends over the past few months. So my background is in running international operations for multinational companies. So I'm very much on the business side of the fence. as opposed to the artistic or musical side. And my difference is that I'm a problem solver. I love challenges, and I don't see problems, I see opportunities. And my own business came from that. So I run a company called Table for One, and it's solving the problem of loneliness and isolation for people who travel in business by connecting business travelers and allowing them to connect and network and create opportunities out of otherwise wasted time. And in the context of solving problems, I was having a chat with Kathy a few months ago about some of the problems and challenges facing the music industry or the musical environment. And one of the things that came up was that classical music can be deemed inaccessible to people. And we got talking and came up with some ideas about how to resolve that and how to make classical music accessible to more people. And from my point of view, if I wanted to get some classical musicians to perform at a party or something like that, I don't know where I would start today. But technology today exists that can make this a lot easier. So if we take the concept, for example, of Uber. So with Uber, you can click a few times on your phone and a car can arrive at your house to bring you somewhere. And why can that concept not exist for music? So by clicking a few times, why could you not bring a musical act or musical performers to your house to bring you somewhere, different in your mind, to give you different experiences? The technology exists. So an idea to make music more accessible to everybody out there could be to have an Uber type solution for musical performers, where with a few different clicks, a hotel, somebody throwing a party, some business having an event can arrange for a musical performers to attend and do it all very simply technologically. So that's just to throw an idea out there about how we could solve one of the problems that may exist for music. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And he is actually probably the reason that we're here, because it was an unbelievably amazing idea. And at first when we were talking, I was like, no, that's not possible. And then the more I thought about it, it's an absolutely amazing idea that could help an awful lot of musicians. And from that idea came this entire meeting today. So I can't thank you enough for being here today. And if anyone wants to reach out to him, he's an incredible person with really amazing ideas. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Lee, who do we?
Thank you, Kathy. Very, very, very humbling, very humbling. And yeah, if I can help anybody with any problems they have, feel free to get in contact. More than happy to help.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to have you here. Stefan and I met about 3 days ago. And no, about a week ago, and I said, you have to be on the show. And this, the reason that he's after these people is because of what he has to offer. I've put these three people in this order for a reason. So go ahead, Stefan.
Yes, again, thank you, Kathy, for inviting me at short notice, but no problem. I love it. Very good people here and spread all over the world. Fantastic. So I represent the Swedish Foundation, but I live in Spain. Haven't learned the language yet, but I'm working on it. Anyway, this foundation has spent 4 years of building this online platform, which is also an application on your phone, of course, that's going to work for you guys, meaning making you more money for your content online. So again, this is a foundation. It's not just another platform out there. This is built for content creators of the world, because it's, What we learned the past 25 years that it's free on internet is of course not true. It's just someone else paying for it. And in this case, it's all the content creators in the world that work hard, then give it away to social media, maybe in the hopes to get a part of the advertising pie, so to speak. This is totally different. This is, you upload it, it's totally free for the content creator to upload your content. It's saved for 800 years, so your children and children and children and children can make money off what you create. And anyone who is a subscriber to this platform, which will be around €8, $10, whatever, it will be GDP adjusted, by automatically, when I listen to a song, 90% of my subscription goes to that creator. So that's how it's is built up. So right now it's on beta testing. So why I'm here is to reach out to all of you who are creating content and want a platform to be paid from. So you want to be a part of this beta test? Please reach out for a one-on-one and we can take it from there. That's me.
Thank you so much. We're going to have a breakout room right now, and this is a very important breakout room because we as artists do not think about making money. And I want this next breakout room to be about thinking about art as a business, how we can create and make money by what we're doing, because we as artists, we make the best things in the world. We just have to learn how to sell them. So Lee, if you would like to help us get into the next breakout room?
I will. And as Kathy said, how can you make money from what you do? So it's easy to talk about what you do, but artists might be more right brain, business people might be more left brain. So how can we merge those two brains together to work as one? So if you're in a room with a business person, they might be more linear, where art might come from passion, which I would say spirit. Mind is like, in a sense, like, so I break things down in mind, body, heart, and spirit. So if I'm a motivational speaker, I'm speaking to the motor, the drive, the biology. If I'm an inspirational speaker, I'm speaking to the spirit. If I'm an empathetic speaker, I'm speaking to the heart. If I'm an educator, then I'm speaking to the mind. What type of speaker are you? So when you go into this room, what part of the human are you speaking to? And what part of you are you speaking from? So we're opening the breakout rooms, and you'll have approximately 8 minutes. I'm just going to find the breakout rooms. There they are. And all breakout rooms should be opening now. Are they there? That's it. There we go. That's it. And there's a couple of more, Diego. Right. Did you get one?
Yep, you got one.
That's it. Just looking who hasn't been assigned. There you go, one left, sir. Just looking for you here. That's it. I think we're good. Everybody's in. Is it going well?
I think it's going fantastic. What do you think?
We're still recording now.
Yep. Oh yeah, sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Susan, by the way.
Stefan, did you come up with anything phenomenal?
Or something phenomenal. I think the extra minute with these guys that we came into, instead of building a new website, Rich is now talking about getting into creating a VO channel instead, because it's free.
Very good.
That's great.
We're just waiting for the last few to come back, and we've got approximately 13 minutes left, and we've still got 2 speakers, and we've got time for about 1 or 2 minutes of feedback from the breakout sessions. So who would like to go
I'd like
first?
to introduce Maddie. because I actually really know her. I mean, that she's like one of the very few people here that I've that she's in my area, and we've actually physically met. So Maddie is part of Mexican culture. And here in Mexico, the government owns culture. And so a lot of my ideas and a lot of what's coming out of here is actually coming from Mexico. And I actually think of Mexico as like the St. Patrick of classical music, because music here is cherished like you have no idea. There's 3 symphony orchestras in my town of over 60 people each. And they're coveted. We were paid the entire quarantine. We were just told to take care of ourselves. So it's very different than the rest of the world. And what Maddie and I are trying to do is bring this back to the rest of the world. Actually, Beatriz, she's Mexican. She also knows what's going on here. So Maddie, it's all yours. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. I'm gonna try to be as brief and concise as possible in my 2 minutes. I'm Maddie Nicolescu, Romanian violist and entrepreneur living in Mexico City. And today I would like to share with you a few ideas about a very important topic due to the challenging events of the past year, where musicians have had to adapt to be able to keep sharing their artistry. How do we keep classical music alive in a constantly changing new world? In the middle of the 18th century, Europe began to move towards a new style in architecture, literature, and the arts, generally known as classicism. In those times, it was extremely common that concerts were organized in private homes, as well as in the so-called music rooms that served as concert halls in the late 1700s, early 1800s, where as much as 300 people may be seated. The first recorded occurrence of public concerts was in the year 1672 in London, where the violinist John Bannister advertised and charged admission for performances held every afternoon at 4 o'clock. My own grandparents in Romania, my country of origin, used to host classical music events in their home in the late 1800s. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is history. How does that relate to modern times? Here's some food for the thought. By organizing and promoting venues inside beautiful private homes, amazing castles, exclusive boutique hotels, haciendas as we call them in Mexico, top quality restaurants, the latter benefit from income generated from publicity, event ticket sales, as well as consumer participation and support. We can maximize work potential for musicians in post-COVID times. Organizing these concerts that combine elite venues, small professional music ensembles is a very innovative new way of promoting both classical music and the organizations hosting them. My goal is to find and connect with these organizations and their connections and help them through the process of marketing and promotion of their brand through my music and artistry. So I guess the main thought I want to share with all of you today is, how do we keep going? As artists, as business people? Well, my friend, we have to innovate. We have to come up with new ideas. We have to evolve. We have to break stereotypes. Nothing is impossible as long as we all support each other. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Maddie, and thank you so much for being here. And our last speaker today, to close this out, is another person who's very much responsible for all of us being here. Charles, are you there?
I'm here. I'm ready.
Wonderful. And I will say quickly that one of the major reasons we're here is because I spoke at an Opportunities After Brexit, and Charles reached out to me and he said, "I love your speech. How can we work together?" And this is something I would like to say to all of you. Speak. Go out there and say, "I love what I do. I love what I do. Please come and work with me." Because this is exactly how Charles and I got together on this whole project. So all yours, Charles.
That was a lovely introduction. That's put it together beautifully. Thank you, Kathy. So here I am, Charles Luxford from the United Kingdom, and my meeting with Kathy is a result of Lee and another colleague. Kathy was the first musician I'd come across in over a year of Zoom meeting after Zoom meeting after Zoom meeting. So, right, okay, that's how it happened. I'm a conservatoire graduate with combined experience across classical and contemporary performance and music teaching, plus business development. Originally a youthful musician, I'm now an active professional singer, teacher, concert organizer, but still a businessman. My broader purpose is to encourage and aid personal development. For professional musicians, that translates as consistent and meaningful performance work. The heart of that purpose is my strong conviction to educate the business fraternity in the true value of music of the highest standard. Musicians are primarily listeners. The aim of this project is to make the business community sit up and listen, to recognize and support professional musicians, their skills and their importance in everyday life. Many years performing in various genres from Bach to Bacharach underscores my personal commitment to ensure that music remains a vital ingredient in life's menu. Summed up by music is the food of life, and chamber music is that future. Thank you very much. And thank you briefly to my collaborators in our breakout rooms. We had a good 2 sets of brainstorming that really matured during the second session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Before we close, I'd like to know if anyone has any comments or questions from what we have done today. We have a couple more minutes for questions or comments.
Kathy, could I? Oh, there you go, George.
Kathy, I just want to thank you and thank you all for inviting me. It was a pleasure to know people as you, and you can count on me. Whatever I can do, I'm in Mexico City, I can help. I will do it with all my heart. Thank you.
So much. Thank you so much.
Kathy, can I just come in there for a second, just to throw out a couple of ideas? Because sometimes we look at what we do, we might be an artist, we might be a musician, we might be a voice coach. How can you take that into a business? For example, let's say you're an artist, regardless of what type of art you're doing, you want to take that into the corporate world. Imagine let's say you're going into the corporate world to encourage them to work together as a team by using art as the activity to allow collaboration within the team. So for example, there might be 10 people on the team. You give them an overall picture on the wall that they've got to paint between them, and you give them an individual canvas. And at the end, all those individual canvases should come together to make up the picture on the wall. If you're a voice coach, rather than looking about, you could say listening, which is active, or to make it interactive, what would happen if you taught them to sing as a choir? Because all a business wants is their team to work in a collaborative way, in synergy, where they complement each other. And that reduces conflict. So there's loads of ways, even if you're a musician, you could be teaching the chords on a guitar and encouraging people to be vulnerable, which takes their guard down, and when people are vulnerable, it pulls them together. So there's loads of ways, if you just tease it out, to take your business, your skill, to a business. So anyway, over to you, Kathy.
Can I just interrupt there, Lee? I'm going to give you a real example of that. In the UK, the very eccentric owner of or founder of Metro Bank does exactly that with his staff. He brings in people who are either artists, musicians, or painters, and he brings them into every shop, because he doesn't call them a branch of the bank in the UK. They have dedicated sessions either once a month or once every 2 months, where the staff have downtime. So as part of their learning and professional development, they actually go around and they will either sing or create and do something in work time, which is really unusual. And they do that in every part of their organisation in the UK. So they incorporate something, if you like, creative as part of the culture of the business. So if a bank could do it, albeit a slightly eclectic bank, anyone could do it.
That's a really good point, Mike. And this is what I would like to close with today. We as musicians, we have spent the last 200 years isolating ourselves from the rest of the world. And it's not like the rest of the world doesn't want us or doesn't need us. The rest of the world has never spoken to us. And it's time for us to go out there and have more meetings like this and bring people in and realize that they're not scary and we're not scary, and we can get along and we can do really good business together, and we can prosper and we can help each other. And that's the whole meeting, the meaning behind this meeting. And I would like to say that we're going to be doing this once a month. So please bring your friends, please bring people who would be interested in this type of meeting. Please bring ideas, because quickly before we close, 2 nights ago in the New York Times, Broadway has never had to do this before. Broadway doesn't know when to reopen because they've never closed. The last time a theater closed, Shakespeare was still writing. Okay, they are in exactly the same position that we are in. It's an amazing, amazing time, because as Shakespeare, we can make things up, and we can play with things, and we can change our future. So this is what this is all about. This is to change our future and bring 2 parts of the world together that don't usually meet. So I thank you so much for coming today. Again, I said that here's the QR code with the survey. The most important thing is to give us your ideas so we can continue to do this on a constant basis. Thank you so much, and thank you, Lee, for being my wingman. This has been amazing.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.